Well, fresh on 2 News tonight, it has happened to all of us. Someone approaches you, asks you for money. Chances are at some point you have given money to a panhandler.
Yeah, you see them at busy intersections. You know, you read those cardboard signs that they're holding, and all of them appear to be in desperate need of your cash. But is that really the case?
Mike Hedrick spent the last couple of months following some of these panhandlers. And Mike, what did you find out?
Now, Mark and Sean, as you're well aware, panhandlers can be found all across the Salt Lake Valley. In fact, right here in Sugar House, probably one of the most popular spots here at I-80 and 1300 East. In fact, probably about 30 minutes ago, we saw a couple panhandlers right here on the corner. As you approach, though, have you ever thought, what is the story behind these signs? Are they really homeless? Are they really looking for a place to go? Are they stranded? Are they really telling the truth? Well, chances are, after an investigation we did, the answer to all of those questions is no. All it takes is but a moment.
It's really hard to be out here.
And with each passing glance, there is a story. Tightly held on to and silently being told. A story
It's harder on girls to be in the shelters.
That people like Megan Elmer hope will tug at the hearts of those who drive by.
I'm from Seattle. I came down here to live with my boyfriend, and he ended up kicking me out a week before Christmas.
And it is because of that, Megan says she has spent the last few months begging for money, hoping to make enough cash
About 130, it goes up.
to buy a bus ticket back to Seattle. But when it comes to panhandling, Megan has a very interesting secret. Turns out, everything written on this broken piece of cardboard
I'm being honest, you know?
is a carefully constructed lie.
What if I were to tell you for the last 4 weeks we've been following you, and we see you go to your home in Sugar House?
As she takes a few moments to think about that, let's go back to 1168 East Parkway Avenue, where for the past 6 months, Megan and her family have been living in this house. It's an old home in a nice neighborhood, and on any given day, this stranded young lady
That's my friend's house. It's not my own.
can be found stepping out the side door, sometimes to walk the dog, maybe to talk on the phone. One day she'll go shopping with a nice coat and purse, but most of the time, Megan can be seen in this dumpy old hoodie and backpack, looking the part of a stranded young lady.
So you got nothing then?
No, just my backpack and...
with almost nothing to her name.
Professional panhandlers. In other words, that's how they make their living.
For years, Pamela Atkinson has been an advocate for the homeless in Utah, and she says most people begging for money
I made $10 this morning.
You did?
$10, yeah, and that's going to feed me today.
are not using it in the way that you would hope. In fact, usually what's on the sign is a far cry from the truth.
Just to get money to support either their style of living or their drug or alcohol habit.
By the time 1 o'clock rolls around, Megan and her friend are off to their version of work. They make the 2-block hike to the off-ramp at I-80 and 1300 East. From a distance, her friend looks on as Megan whips out the cardboard.
It's hard. That's what people don't understand is it's hard to eat, it's hard to have a place to stay, and it's hard to, keep clothes on.
And without uttering a word, convinces people to give her money. And if you watch closely enough, you will see her routine is a very convincing one. Like clockwork, every 30 to 60 seconds, Megan's hand goes up. She rubs her head, then her eyes. She tops things off by revealing a look of near breakdown. It's a move that consistently paid off time after time after time again.
Dude, people pull over. I don't say anything to anybody. I hold this sign. I don't make anybody give me money.
And her day is far from over. Once that ramp is tapped out, Megan gives a high sign to her friend, where they walk to the bus, hop a ride to tracks, and then take the train more than 50 blocks south. Her friend again will sit and watch as Megan flies her sign.
How much you make in a day average?
And picks up exactly where she left off.
Well, lately out here, like 30, 40 bucks maybe.
Well, according to our numbers, that's a pretty low estimate. At one point,
About $3.
in just 30 minutes,
$5.
we watched 11 different cars hand her money. The average donation,
I gave her a couple dollars.
$2.50 a car. Do the math, that's more than $50 an hour. 2 hours a day could get her $500 a week, which means realistically, in a year,
I just felt sorry for her. A girl out there like that.
Megan could be pulling in more than $26,000 tax-free.
We've been following her. She lives in a house. What do you think about that?
That is crazy. I live in a trailer. That's crazy. She should get a real job Everybody else has a real job.
If I could have a job, I'd have a job.
So if someone gave you $130 right now, you would get on a bus and go to
Be
Seattle.
home.
For the past 6 months, you just haven't been able to make it.
It's hard, dude. It's harder than that. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and explain myself.
And the truth is, she doesn't have to. All it takes is knocking on Megan's front door.
I'm Mike Hedrick with Channel 2. Are you Megan's mother?
I am.
And her family will tell you all you need to know.
Did you know she panhandles for money?
You know, I thought she was, but I don't know. I don't know how to get her out of it.
So she's basically lying to everyone.
I guess.
Unfortunately, the reality is thousands of people in Utah are homeless, out of work, or trying to get back to family. And the reality is it's people like Megan
I'm disappointed, but how are you going to know?
that often harden others from ever giving it all.
Karma works in strange ways, and it'll come back on her.
And while we may never be clear on what Megan does with her pockets full of cash, chances are she's not using it to buy that bus ticket to Seattle. In fact, you can probably bank on it.
And Pamela Atkinson says more than 70% of the people she sees panhandling on the streets of the Salt Lake Valley are not in the situations that they claim to be. So what's the answer? Well, she says you should give to local charities, to churches, to some of these soup kitchens, some place that you know that money is going to go towards helping people and getting them back up on their feet. Back to you.
But people